Independent Selection Committee for their extraordinary service. And now I'd like to call on Chandra Van Dyke, our Chicago project manager, who will support the commission's work throughout the summer and fall. Chandra?
Good morning. Thank you, Madeline. We have an incredible opportunity to change the culture in Chicago by fixing the remapping process that serves as the foundation of democracy. Ending ward gerrymandering and giving residents their power and voices is critical to this process. The selection process began with a little more than 430 applications. After reviewing whether an applicant was a Chicago resident and over the age of 18, there were 374 eligible applicants left for consideration. The selection committee then began its work by reviewing the applicant's response to, please state why you want to join the commission on a 0 to 3 scale. After completing this process, the committee reviewed the applicants on a map to ensure diversity and selected the top 5 scores from each geographical area of the city of Chicago to move forward with an interview with the selection committee. After deciding on the process, the committee then began conducting interviews with the semifinalists. There were 53 semifinalists contacted for interviews. A total of 42 candidates were interviewed with the selection committee. 5 withdrew from the process and 6 did not respond to the invitation to interview. The selection committee finished its work on June 4th. I would like to thank the selection committee for all of their hard work and their commitment to this process. None of this would be possible if it wasn't for their commitment to ensuring that this commission truly represents the rich diversity of the city of Chicago. Because of their work, we now have a commission that is truly reflective of the city, who will do its work in true collaborations with communities across the city. Now we'll call upon members of the Independent Selection Committee to share more about the selection process. Christina Rivers from DePaul University will speak.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Chicago has a well-documented history of discriminatory housing practices. These practices include such tactics as redlining, restrictive housing covenants, exploitive lending practices, unequal property assessment practices, block busting, and the like. While some of these practices have been outlawed, the effects of these and other discriminatory tactics have led to the entrenched political and economic marginalization of African Americans and other communities of color. For some communities, this marginalization has persisted for generations. This marginalization has also been reinforced by machine-based monolithic partisan redistricting practices that Chicago's ward system has so long been steeped in, and that results in representation that too often does not reflect the needs or preferences of ward residents. The Chicago Advisory Redistricting Commission is comprised of Chicagoans who represent a multiplicity of interests that span across race, ethnicity, religion, region, age, gender, and life experiences. We believe that they will create a ward map that more fully reflects the richness of Chicago's wards and neighborhoods, including the variation of interests within those wards and neighborhoods, instead of allowing those interests to be overshadowed by partisan priorities. We are profoundly impressed by what the commissioners bring to the table in terms of their lived experiences, perspectives, community engagement, and their commitment to diversity and fairness. Personally speaking, I have full confidence that the commissioners will create a more representative ward map, and I look forward to them re-envisioning Chicago as a city of neighborhoods in a way that has never been dared before. Thank you.
Next, we will hear from C.W. Chan.
Hello, my name is C.W. Chan. I'm a retired social worker, a retired entrepreneur, and a community activist with involvement with 3 previous rounds of redistricting. So I learned the importance of redistricting, and I also learned how frustrating the experience could be for people who should have a voice but did not. I'm honored and proud to be serving with my distinguished fellow selection committee members in this Change Illinois project. From the very beginning, we quickly came to the full consensus of the equal importance of the process of the selection committee, which should be total transparency, and the outcome, which would be the selection of a redistricting commission that reflects the city's geographic, racial, economic, and ethnic diversity. I believe we have achieved those objectives. But above all, the most rewarding and uplifting experience for us was to witness the enthusiasm and passion of the hundreds of Chicago citizens who stepped up to apply to serve on the commission, many of whom had expressed that whether or not they succeeded in being selected on the commission, they will still continue to be active in the process. I feel hope for Chicago. There are hundreds of thousands of people out there just waiting for the opportunity to get involved and to better the community. Yes, you have a voice, and your voice is important. In a matter of weeks, if not days, the new independent Chicago Ward Redistricting Commission will reach out to the diverse communities of our city to listen, to educate, and to engage. I urge all people who care about the future of the city of Chicago to participate. For the commission to draw a map that would protect and keep our many community interests intact. Community engagement and input are absolutely vital. For the equity map produced by the commission, based on community input to become the new political reality of the city of Chicago, we also need robust and ongoing engagement so that the loud voice of the people can be further amplified and can penetrate through the thick wall of City Hall. Every citizen can have an impactful role to play. Together, let's step up, step in, and make history. Thank you.
Thank you, CW. Next, we will hear from Roberto Valdez.
Everyone, my name is Roberto Valdez and I work for the Latino Policy Forum. And as mentioned, I'm one of the 4 members of the selection committee. When the selection committee came together and we discussed our goals and what we wanted to see out of this process, as my colleague CW mentioned, equity and transparency were front and center. We hope that this would set a tone going forward for the commissioners that were selected and for the rest of the process that followed. We knew that an independent commission could truly advance equity in the city of Chicago. We created principles to guide us through this path of equity. The first one being that we would strive to select a commission that reflects the city's geographic, racial, economic, and ethnic diversity. And I believe we achieved this. We knew that it would be impossible to select representation from all 50 wards and the approximately 60 different zip codes of the city. So we focused on regions in the city and diligently chose qualified candidates in those different regions. But what we also found that the majority of the candidates were not only involved and interested in the region and community they lived in, but they volunteered and worked in other parts of the city, which really speaks to the interests of not just their areas, but the entire city overall. And I think that's really what's important with this process. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to the work that this commission does to present a map that truly reflects the diversity of Chicago. I want to thank Change Illinois. I want to thank my fellow colleagues who served on the selection committee for their time and energy. And I look forward to engaging in the rest of this process. Thank you.
Thank you. The Chicago Advisory Redistricting Commission consists of 7 men, 6 women, and 1 non-binary. 4 are African American, 3 are Latinx, 3 are Asian American, and 3 are white. Not only do the commissioners come from diverse areas of the city, but they also possess diverse skill sets, ranging from community organizing and nonprofits to IT engineering and software development for private firms, to civic engagement in various roles in the education field. The commissioners are as follows: April Campbell from the North Lawndale community, Deborah Williams from the Austin community, Alejandro Olazava, from the Archer Heights community, Chris Kanich from the Bridgeport community, Lizeth Mondragon from West Elson, Alyssa Rodriguez from Bridgeport, Rory Gilchrist from Lincoln Square, Ahmed Khan from West Ridge, Jonathan Vandenberg from Irvin Park, Debbie Liu from near South Side, Shravan Severa from the near South Side, Alan Linton II from Woodlawn, and Mike Strode from South Deering. While working to support the selection process, I was inspired by the commitment of each of these individuals. I was even more moved to see how each of these individuals were able to connect the importance of this work to their everyday lives. From expressing the need to better food options in their communities, to bringing awareness to the need for better healthcare options, to the importance of safety in their neighborhoods. These commissioners are real people who live with the real realities of the conditions of their communities. They understand the importance of representation and restoring the power of the vote to communities across the city. Bios for the commissioners will be posted to the commissioners' website this week, and you can find more information at chicagoswards.org. Again, that's chicagoswards.org. Now we will take questions from the press.
If press has any questions, feel free to put it in the chat or to use the raise your hand function.
Ryan, we're getting messages that they are not able to unmute or raise their hands.
All right, I will start with Heather. If you do have a question, just put it in the chat.
Chandra, there's a question from Claudia Morel about next steps and timeline.
Yes, so next steps for the commissioners tonight, they'll begin the training. They'll begin training tonight. The information for that training can be found on the commissioner's website at chicagoswards.org. That training is also a public training that will be live streamed and later posted to the website, and it hopes to provide an opportunity for people to become more educated about this process. After they finish training over the next 2 weeks, they'll be training for the next 2 weeks, which are all public. They'll host their first public forum in the third week of June. That information is also available on the website and is open to the public as well.
So let's go next to Heather's question in the chat, and then we'll go to Greg for questions after that. And Heather's question is, do you have a commitment from any aldermen to support the map the commission draws?
We've had aldermen who we've reached out to talk with about the commission. There are some that support a people's process and they are interested in seeing the commissioners do their work. They support a people's process is what we've been told. Our hope is that we do the work and we will continue to gain the support of City Council along the way.
Greg, you're unmuted.
Thank you, Ryan. I got a couple questions. First, Chandra, could you repeat that racial ethnic breakdown? You went real fast before of the 14 members.
I apologize for that. Yes, I will repeat it. So the breakdown is there are 7 men, 6 women, 1 non-binary, 4 African American, 3 Latinx, and 3 Asian Americans, and there are 3 white.
I'm just going to repeat that. You're still going real fast. 4 African American, 3 Latinx, 3 Asian, 3 whites.
Yes.
Who will serve as the chair, or will there be a chair?
Yes, the commission will select their chair at their first meeting after they've completed their training.
I don't think, one overriding question, I don't think anybody disagrees with the goal about involving everyday people in what's been historically a very loaded process. But with all respect, who are you guys? You picked a commission. You had your own process. You kept it all secret until today. Why should people believe that this is open and more relevant to their lives and more under their control than anything the city council does?
Thank you.
Greg, if I can jump in, Chandra, Greg, I take issue and disagree with the contention that this has not been an open process. It has been an open process, and every meeting minutes have been taken and posted on our website. And we are representative of community groups across the city who would like to see a different approach to creating the foundation for our democracy. I'll turn it back over to you, Chandra.
Yeah, I was gonna say the exact same thing. This has been a very open process. Information in regards to the selection process has been openly posted onto the website. The trainings will remain open and available for public who's interested in learning more about the work that the commission will be doing. The public forums will also be for the public to join. And we are everyday residents of the city of Chicago who believe that the foundation of the system should be shifted, and it should involve everyday people, and we should have a voice in how we're represented in our communities.
Chandra, if I could follow up on that, I'm not saying that the solicitation of potential members wasn't open, but presumably somebody voted and decided who to pick. Who was that, and was that open? Was there an invite that says watch as we select the people that are going to these 14 members?
So the independent selection committee made those decisions themselves. And they did those in a closed session where they discussed the applicants. That information, those minute notes are posted onto the website. We chose today as a day to release the names of those who were selected to serve on the commission, but ultimately the selection committee worked independently to select the commissioners.
And who selected the members of the independent commission?
The members of the independent selection committee are individuals who were referred to us through our coalition partners and community-based organizations throughout the city of Chicago, who felt that these were people who could work independently, who had history of working in this space and understood the importance of selecting people who were diverse from the city of Chicago. They were all referrals to us.
I'm asking though is a group made a decision? Who selected the group that made the decision?
Again, they were all referrals from our community-based partners and our coalition partners. So they came from different referrals throughout our network. So to be clear, some of these individuals are people who had never even worked with Change Illinois prior to doing the work. They were referrals from our coalition and community-based organizational partners.
So Greg, we can do one more question, then we do want to get to other reporters' questions, and we can come back later if needed.
Okay. What role did former Alderman Dick Simpson play in all of this, if any?
The role that Dick Simpson played was an advisor to the committee. There was only one time that the committee actually needed to have Dick Simpson step in, and that was to support during the interviewing process. The selection committee, there was to be fully transparent, one experienced a death. And because of that, he wanted to ensure that we have someone to still step in to support the committee as they continue the selection process.
Thank you.
All right. The next question is in the chat is from Craig with WBBM News Radio. How will you get buy-in from the aldermen since they will have to vote on this? Is such buy-in necessary?
Yes, obviously, we believe that in doing this work, we must first come into community the correct way, right? So we want to ensure that we're connecting with each alder in all 50 wards, in addition to connecting with the community-based organization, so we can have access to the residents in the community. Our goal is to build trust first. So step into the community by first connecting with those who are known to do the work in the community and allow them to lead and guide us as we connect with community members and engage them in this process. Our hope is that as we do this work, alders will support by submitting their maps and also organizing their communities to be present at these public forums. We invite them to come in and also give input about how they feel their wards should be drawn. They're everyday residents who live in the city of Chicago, so we invite them to be a part of this process. We also intend to get buy-in by showing and proving, showing that these are everyday people who have a commitment to seeing their communities function differently. These are people who understand what lack of representation does to community and why it's important for us to know who represents us and to have organizing power so we can get the resources necessary to advance each of our communities.
All right. To Aaron's question, can we get proper spellings? We did put the commissioners' names in the chat, and we'll be sending out a press release after this, which will have the names included as well. The next question from Claudia Morel, can you talk about the next steps in the timeline?
The next steps in the timeline, as I said before, the commission will begin its training tonight, which is a public commission, it's a public training that can be found on the commissioner's website at chicagoswards.org. That training is public. They will continue training over the next 2 weeks. All of that training information is available on the website with streaming links so that you can join if you have an interest. And after the commission has completed its training over the next 2 weeks, the third week of June, on June 22nd, they intend to host their first virtual forum. And on June 26th, they will host the first hybrid forum, which will be hosted in the Chinatown community. Information about that forum can be found on the website as well.
And we, our goal is to try to get the commission to host hearings throughout the summer months, a couple a week if we can. That's what we're going to aim for, and hope that the commission can go along with that and participate in all of that and engaging the community. So we will continue to be posting details about these hearings on that chicagoswards.org website. I see a question from Aaron Haggerty about Mayor Lightfoot. I will just jump in and take that one. The mayor is certainly aware of this. We've been open and transparent about it with everyone in the city of Chicago and with all of you here today, and with the mayor's office as well. I don't know whether she'll be supportive of this commission. We certainly hope so, based on what she campaigned on and her long history in championing independent redistricting. But we hope you'll put that question to her.
And also, just to add a little bit more about the timeline, after the commissioners receive the census data around August and September, they will take that data into account and make adjustments to the map, then bring the map back to the public in September and October, so the public can have an opportunity to give additional feedback to the map. Only then will we go forward with finalizing a map.
Greg had another question in the chat. This is the name of the members now. Can you please put up brief bios or orgs they represent?
Yes, Greg, the bios will be available on the commissioner's site this week. I will also say again that this is an independent redistricting commission. So if they choose to identify with an organization, that would be by choice. But these are everyday people who will ultimately decide how they want to be represented on this commission.
Just also want to mention to everybody that we will be advertising the hearings in a variety of community and ethnic media around the city so that people are aware of this. We really want everyone to get engaged in this process and to give the commissioners their input and feedback and suggestions, and we'll also be helping them draw community of interest maps that they can share with the commission. The commission website has been, major portions of it have been translated into multiple languages. There's a translation button at the top of the website for people for whom English is not their primary language. We've also added a submission portal so that people of the city of Chicago can submit testimony or maps or whatever they would like to share with the commission. So we encourage everybody to take a look at that and use it and get involved in helping shape the city's future.
Greg, I will work really hard to get those bios and a little bit more information out about the commissioners. We were really excited to have a commission and to be able to announce today. Again, that information we are collecting over this week, in addition to conducting training for the commission. But we are working diligently to get more information out about the commission, or commissioners specifically.
Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Thank you all very much for being with us today. And thank you again to our wonderful independent selection committee members who have done just absolutely phenomenal work to get us to this point so that we can create a new path forward for the city of Chicago. Thank you.